What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm literally showing you what it's like going into theme parks, the hot zone of Orlando, to show you what it's really like. At the same time, a little bit of snippets of everyday life and some of the nightlife that I was involved with in Orlando during my short stint there. If you have comments or questions, please write in the comment section below. If you want more content, subscribe. Also, let me know the stuff that you want me to go and do. As most of you know, I'm kind of game for a lot of stuff. So anyways, let's carry on. Let's go about and see what kind of stuff I ran into while I was in Florida. All right, day 2 in Orlando, and a lot of people are wondering what it's like at either Disney or Universal. So we decided to go to Universal and see what it's like. We're going to show you footage in a bit of the social distancing even on vehicles. It's kind of nuts. But anyways, whoop, it's not moving. All right. I can't use my mask here because of the vents, so now we have to find me a mask, even with the filter in it. Yeah. My silicone mask with a KN95 filter on the inside are apparently not allowed at Universal, so I guess I could officially say that silly face masks are not Universal approved, which kind of sucks. Simply based on the vents that are on the front, even though there's a KN95 filter on the inside, they would not allow me in the park with that mask on, so I had to buy one of these guys. Clearly I got a fancy Universal one. It's $8, but I will say this. I'm gonna plug silly face because the breathing and the air that you get in that mask compared to this shit is night and day. We are sweating our faces off with our cotton masks, and I do feel more protected with my silicone mask, but that's just me. So yeah, silly face mask, not approved at Universal. So for those of you wanting to know exactly what Universal is like, as you're seeing by some footage, it's actually pretty decent. The traffic today is really light. If any of you have ever been to Disney or Universal before, you know it's a straight up shit show. But here, everyone's really good. You have to wear your mask or signs everywhere. Before you get on every ride, they hand sanitize you. They're really strict about masks, so you have to make sure your masks are always on. There's also areas like I'm sitting in right now where you can take your mask off if you're seated, so that's really good. The one downfall I think that we came across today was, lo and behold, the Harry Potter section of Universal was for me a giant shit show, just because there was so many people there. To get on one of the rides was over an hour? Yeah, about an hour long. So we decided to leave because, one, I'm not waiting an hour, too many fucking people, so we bailed. But besides the Harry Potter place, the rest of Universal is actually really good. People are really great. So if you're someone who's been hesitant to come to Universal based on like crowds and stuff like that, it's actually not bad. And when they say they hit capacity, I have to ask at what percentage that means, because today technically they're at capacity, but it's really not that busy. So anyways, if you're planning on coming to Universal, I'd recommend it. It's actually really easygoing. I would warn you though about Harry Potter. That might be a different story. It seems like everyone just went to Harry Potter. Universal's doing a pretty good job at social distancing. Even the cars need to social distance. Look at that. All right, as you saw, I went shopping and it wasn't that bad. The media made it out to be like everything was packed all of the time and no one was wearing masks, there's no social distancing and no real rules put in place. Pretty sure I just proved that point wrong. There were markers outside stores with social distancing at 6 meters. Hand sanitizer before you get in every store. Entry points of Starbucks were blocked off to have one main point and you had to pick up at the window. So, our mall is that bad. In Orlando, I also went to one of the busiest malls and biggest and bougiest, and will say it's actually better than here. All right, now we're gonna see what it's like taking a Uber in Florida, and let you know how it goes. So we wanted to ask our Uber driver some questions, but apparently it was a hard pass. So we have to take an Uber home. So I'm gonna ask the Uber driver what it's like with disinfecting and mask policies and all that fun stuff. Because this guy didn't want to say a word. Masks on. Yeah. Nightlife. I was not really worried about going out. Again, I don't really fear too much stuff, but the media portrays Orlando as this kind of shit show when it comes to nightlife. I'm pretty sure, as you just saw, it wasn't that bad. There are some points in the video where I do show places that are a little bit more packed than I would have liked, but at the same time, stuff like this happens in my own city. People are super friendly. Most people are wearing masks, even during the outdoor settings. There's rules put in place inside the restaurants and some of the bars. Not all of them are open, just like here. So the fear-mongering from media is a little bit inaccurate, in my opinion. Yes, there were a couple bars where I looked inside and I'm like, no, I'm not going in there. But that's your decision as a human being, whether to put yourself in a complete shit show or smaller shit show. And I chose to go in the smaller shit show. The overall feeling with being out in nightlife in downtown Orlando was super fun. It was very clean. People were great. Most people were wearing their masks. Again, hand sanitizer everywhere. Throughout the restaurant, if we had to get up to go to the bathroom, we had to put our masks on, just like here. So the kind of media stipulation of it's just a giant shit show in Florida is a little bit inaccurate. And I'm, again, speaking specifically on Orlando. All right, it's Saturday. We're at Disney Springs. It used to be called Downtown Disney. Yeah. Now it's called Disney Springs. It's Saturday, so obviously you'd expect a Disney area to be packed. I will say it is pretty busy. Probably busier than we thought it was going to be. My mask made it in though, so this is somewhat Disney approved. I hustled it in. Didn't work at Universal, so don't wear the silly mask at Universal. But what's really cool is we just got shit because we were walking around with our Starbucks, and apparently you're not allowed to walk around and drink your mask off, so you have to stay seated, which is a new rule that we didn't know about, which is kind of nice actually. Super polite about it, so we picked a table, sit down and drink our morning coffee. But it is definitely a little busier than we'd like it to be, but here we are. All in all, I really enjoyed my experience down in Orlando during this pandemic, COVID-19, that we're going through. If you're someone who's been contemplating going to a theme park such as Orlando during a pandemic, to be completely honest with you, I would go. I did go, and I enjoyed it. I felt safe. I didn't feel overwhelmed. Yes, the Harry Potter part was a little bit too busy for me, but I made the adult decision not to go in there. So you can make your own adult decision on whether you want to go or not. Maybe based on this video, or maybe not based on this video. When it comes to the everyday life, whether it's grocery shopping, which I admit was not put in here, but I did go to Whole Foods. Everything was completely normal. Again, there's not a whole lot different between Orlando and right here in Ottawa, what we're doing in Canada. If you are concerned about nightlife, don't go out. Maybe stick to something super simple if you are worried about nightlife. Again, we went out mainly to a major kind of outdoory district instead of being inside, but that was our choice. We did go to a bar, but our table was outside, completely away from people. That's what we decided to do. Can you sit inside? Absolutely, but again, you need to make your own adult decision on what you feel comfortable with. So in closing, am I happy about going to Florida? Yes. Do I believe everything the media is putting out there? No. Do I think we all need to have a constructive opinion on something before we give it? Yeah. So because I've experienced what Orlando specifically is like flying from a Canadian airport into an American one and vice versa, I can confidently say that I'm okay with going back. I'm okay with what Air Canada has done in terms of keeping us safe on their airplanes. I'm perfectly okay with the airports in Canada, what they have done. American airports, a little bit more shady. American air carriers, a little bit more shady. So you can decide where and whom you want to fly with and where and make your connections. This is just my 2 cents. I'm not saying this is like 100% foolproof of getting away from COVID. I'm on day 2 of my quarantine right now and I feel great. Don't have COVID, but I have to stay in lockdown for another 13 days. So if you like this video, like the video. If you have questions, comment below and ask me a question. I'll be more than happy to answer. If there's a lot of questions and stuff maybe I didn't answer, I'll be more than happy to put up a part 3 just on Q&A alone. So thank you, subscribe, share this with someone who wants to travel and has been a little bit afraid of traveling or might really just want to hear information out of some random's mouth who's actually experienced it. It'll be me. So anyways, thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and we'll see you guys later.